Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo. Thank you for choosing the Magnificent Mongo Slave for all your wrestling information and content. Like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Hey, so this video is about the absolute state of Tommaso Ciampa, the flag waver of NXT, the denier of NXT developmentalism. Tommaso Ciampa posted this on Instagram. It actually looks pretty interesting. So let's read what he has to say, and then let's see what's going on with Tommaso Ciampa. So he said this photo, which is Tommaso Ciampa holding the NXT Championship, he says, this got me thinking. One, I miss 2008 Ciampa. Me too. Me too, guy. I miss Tommaso Ciampa in like 2008 as well. Two, the wrestling business, like life, is full of waves, highs and lows. One moment you feel untouchable. The next you come crashing down. Giving up the title is definitely one of my career lows, and to be honest, damn near everything that's happened in my career since has been a disappointment. Damn. A few glimpses of highs here and there, my face-off with Adam when I return and War Games come to mind, but lots of lows, the chase to reclaim Goldie, the final chapter with Johnny, and most recently my encounter with Cross. Motivation is a fascinating trait. Through my career, I've often found that creating false dialogue has led to my greatest internal motivation. In 2008, I created a scenario in my head which it says, nobody believed in me. It drove me. In 2020, after weeks of being left off television, yes, I am healthy, I find myself with a new sense of false dialogue. Quote unquote, creative has nothing for you. Whether or not this is true really doesn't matter, because in my head it's true. In 2018, I willed my vision into existence. Well, today, I have a new vision, and surprisingly enough, I'm hungrier than ever. It's time to evolve. It's time to catch that next wave and reach that next high. Okay, so Tommaso Ciampa has reached the ceiling in NXT. Now, a lot of people have speculated that this is basically him trying to say maybe he'll move on to another brand. I think that an interesting choice of words with evolve, time to evolve. I think that's an interesting choice of words. There's a lot of rumors going on that Tommaso Ciampa is going to work with Randy Orton, which based off the thigh slapping situation they got into the other day. I mean, a couple of weeks ago. But Tommaso Ciampa, much like Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, Pete Dunne, and about a half dozen other people have reached the ceiling of NXT. There really is nothing else. There is some people for Tommaso Ciampa to work with. There's still people for him to work with. He still hasn't worked matches with Kushida. He hasn't had an extended program with Finn Balor yet. He could still, most of the guys in England are stuck in England, so he can't work with those guys. But most of the American talents, he's kind of worked with them. But there's other guys on the roster for him to really feud with and help elevate. Swerve is another one. Swerve Scott is one. The various cruiserweights. Santos Escobar is another one if he wanted to win the cruiserweight title. But that kind of leaves me in the lurch. Because a lot of these guys that we're talking about here, a lot of these guys are cruiserweights. Like Finn Balor is a cruiserweight. So is Johnny Gargano. Shouldn't they also, if they can't chase Keith Lee for the NXT title, and he has the North American title, I'm almost guaranteed that they're going to end up having to surrender that North American title, and that is actually my next point. But what's wrong with being the cruiserweight champion? Why can't Tommaso Ciampa fight Santos Escobar for the cruiserweight title? Why can't Johnny Gargano fight him for the cruiserweight title? Why is it that these guys are somehow smaller than he is but considered bigger than the title? That doesn't make much sense to me, and they all been in the business about the same amount of time. So it's not like he's some junior somewhere. I mean, they might not have been in the company the same amount of time, but they've been in the business about the same amount of time. But that takes me to my next point. If cruiserweight title would be pretty cool if they could elevate that tremendously by putting Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and all those guys in the cruiserweight division. That would be fucking fantastic. Finn Balor versus Tommaso Ciampa for the cruiserweight title would be badass. But they have the cruiserweight title sort of lost in the weeds. Even though Santos Escobar is great in my opinion, but again, I've spoken about this in the state of the cruiserweight division video. Please watch that. If you care to know about my opinion on WWE's Cruiserweight division. But Tommaso Ciampa, I think, is likely going to be the next North American champion. I'm pretty sure they're going to say that Keith Lee cannot hold both titles at the same time. He's going to have to abdicate the North American title, which means they probably have a tournament for the North American Championship. And that will probably get Tommaso Ciampa back on TV and lead into his next feud. Now, either he's going to win the title, which would be dope if he did, because he could be the gatekeeper, because that really is the gatekeeper spot. That's the point of being a mid-card champion, is to be sort of the gatekeeper to the main event. And he's already at that point. You know, maybe he could win that North American title and beat back a couple of guys, be a solid, champion. And that would actually be dope. It probably will mean that he has to wrestle some of the same people he's already wrestled before, but it also gives him an opportunity to wrestle people he's never wrestled before. So as long as he obviously stays away from Johnny Gargano, I think it could be sweet. If they have a tournament and they ended up with Kushida and Tommaso Ciampa in the finals, that would be badass. If it was Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa, that would be badass. But ultimately, if he actually gets the North American title, what more do we do? What more do we do with this now? And Keith Lee was a badass North American champion. It was fun while it lasted, but now he's got the daddy belt, so now he's a star. And Adam Cole can't go backwards; he has to go forward. And to be quite honest, Tommaso Ciampa really shouldn't go backwards either. He should just be, and I know he's an NXT lifer, and he said it again and again. He's not going anywhere. And that's the only reason why I continue to sort of find or think of and fantasy book new ideas instead of just sending them fucking home. But I think this is all part of a storyline, this whole Instagram post. It's because there was a lot of time for Tommaso Ciampa to be featured at the Great American Bash show. Why did we need Thick Boy? Why did we need him? We didn't need that guy. He could fuck off and nobody would have paid no mind. Nobody would have cared. There's also other people like Donovan Dijakovic who disappeared off TV. He's been gone for like 3 months. They've been threatening to bring him up to Raw. He has not shown up at all. Period. I think they forgot his phone number. I think Triple H forgot that guy existed. Somebody had to send Triple H a tweet or something and say, "Hey, remember Donovan Dijakovic? Where the fuck did he at? Where did he go? Did he die? Was he in that car crash with Velveteen Dream? I have no idea." But it's interesting. There are some things for Tommaso Ciampa to do. There are some roads that are unpaved for him, but it's going to require for him to take huge steps back and to actually be and be in the position of being mostly a gatekeeper. Now, he could fight Keith Lee for the NXT title. I would think that would be dope. I would be okay with Keith Lee fighting Tommaso Ciampa. That would be a fun series of matches. But then what do you do after that? And I think you could also hold off on that. And you can also do Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross in a rematch, but you can hold off on that. But the thing here is you have to keep him away from Johnny Gargano. That's the important thing. How the fuck you keep him away from Johnny Gargano for at least a year or so people can get that shit out of their brain that them two just fight like cats and dogs every time they near each other. Or I shouldn't even say cats and dogs. They fight like starving mice whenever they near each other. But Tommaso Ciampa being lost in the lurch is because he don't want to go up. that's the problem. He doesn't want to go up, and you might not have a choice. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of Tommaso Ciampa, and I'll talk to you guys later.